each of you would stand as I call your name, but also would like to invite U.S. Senator Robert Menendez. Would you please stand, who represents us on a national level? New Jersey State Senator Loretta Weinberg, who represents us on a state level. New Jersey State Senator Barbara Bono. She said she would be here today. Also, who I believe he's not here, but I'd be remiss if I did not mention U.S. Congressman Steve Rothman. New Jersey State Assemblyman Gordon Johnson. New Jersey State Assemblywoman Valerie Huddle. Bergen County Executive Kathleen Donovan. Bergen County Clerk John Hogan. Our Mayor of Hackensack, Mayor Jorge Menendez. Freeholder David Gant. And Congressman Marlon Towns. I don't believe our Board of Education President Mark Stein is here, but we do have some other school board representatives, Rhonda Williams-Brembry, Clarissa Gilman-Gardner, and Carolyn Menez. I would now like to offer an opportunity for Senator Menendez, so if he would come now. Also following him, if Senator Weinberg would like to have a few words, each representing us on the state level, county, and local levels. We'd also like to have our Bergen County Executive Donovan come, as well as our Mayor, Jorge Menendez. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mount Olive. I am thrilled to be here. Reverend Hilton, thank you very much for your gracious invitation. Reverend Whitfield, it's always good to be with you. To all the Reverend clergy, to all of my colleagues in government, and to all the residents of this community, and certainly the congregation here, where I've had many opportunities to be with Reverend Jackson on Black History Month and prior MLK events, so I am thrilled to be back once again. I am personally thankful in my own life for Dr. King's work, not only for how he changed the nation, but for things that actually have changed my personal life. As a young person who grew up poor in a tenement, I would not have been the first in my family to go to college without an EEOG grant. And that did not come before Dr. King's work. When I applied to Rutgers Law School, I applied to its minority student program, and that did not exist before Dr. King's efforts. So in my own life, his work has made a difference. And I think of his words. I think of his words today. You know, he said, one of the tragedies of human history is that the children of darkness are often more determined and more zealous than the children of light. I have seen that over the last several years in Washington. And so it is my hope this year, as we commence a new year and a momentous year where we will decide which course our country takes, that the children of light will be more zealous and determined than the children of darkness. Because it is working with this president that fulfills many of the words that Dr. King said. He said that we need to rise above our own individualistic concerns to the broader sense of community. Well, when this president came to office, he said, how is it that in the greatest country on the face of the earth, men and women and children go to sleep worried that they have no health care insurance whatsoever? Millions of Americans. And he changed that through the Affordable Care Act. It's Dr. King who said that all work's dignity should be honored. And while we used to say equal work for equal pay, it now became the law of the land under Barack Obama with the Lilly Ledbetter bill that said everyone must be treated with equal work and equal pay. Dr. King talked about the horrors of war. And as someone who voted against the war in Iraq, I can tell you, I am so thrilled that our president has brought our young men and women home from a war in Iraq that should have never been. And so I hope that we will take Dr. King's life and words and live them into action this year. That we will allow, as he called us all to do, to live a life in creative altruism. I believe this president has tried to lead this nation in creative altruism. And never forget that the history has taught us that Rosa sat so that Martin could march, so that Barack could run. And that has made a big difference in our lives. So I have been thrilled as your United States Senator to work with this president in historic times, challenging times. There is still much to do, but I believe that he has the way and the will to bring us to a brighter day, to a rising sun, not a setting sun. So, Reverend, thank you very much for the opportunity. I will stay a while, but I have a series of commitments I made today. That's one of the challenges of representing the whole state. But I want to recognize your keynote speaker, Walter Fields. He is an exceptional advocate for all of our communities and a powerful voice who I'm sure will have a very powerful message. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Senator Menendez.
Thank you very much, Senator Menendez. Welcome to Bergen County. Welcome to part of the richly diverse community that we are all privileged to represent in the federal government and at the state level. And if I might take a moment to give a personal thank you to the Reverend Jackson and to Mount Olive Baptist Church. You were among the first to sign the statement that we released on a bipartisan basis. Every elected official, Republican and Democrat, signed a statement decrying the acts of desecration and anti-Semitic incidents that have taken place in our very own Bergen County these last 2 weeks. And we certainly know, as we honor the memory, the vision, and the leadership of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, that he would have been among the first to stand up, because when one of us is injured, all of us are injured. So, my thank you to Candy Stewart for putting together this wonderful program, Reverend clergy, and I look forward to hearing Walter Fields' keynote speech. The last time I heard him speak in a church, as a mother, and he's kind of one of my adopted kids out there whom I watched grow up. As a mother, he brought tears to my eyes, tears of pride. So again, we can be proud of, well, I used to call him the young generation, but he's getting a little bit gray around the temples. So, the middling young generation. So thank you one and all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for welcoming us. And thank you for keeping the spirit of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King alive.